Welcome to Upper Body Blast. My name is Matt. We're going to start jogging in place, getting that blood moving from the lower body to the upper body, getting everything warmed up so that we can get through our upper body today. I have a few things for the back. It's kind of the focus for today. We also have a little bit of oblique power work to get us started. But before we get going, obviously we want to warm up, raise the body temperature, and then get our joints moving. So go ahead and go a little bit of a twist, side to side. Torso, shoulder joints, and we're going to use a little bit of legs. We have that bent over position we're going to get into in just a second. Go ahead and open up a little wider with the arms. And then stop the twist, but keep the arms going. We're going to go forward and back, crossing over the front each way. Really trying to get the shoulder blades back as you open up and cross in front. And as you cross in front, really reach around. Think about a big bear hug going around a tree, or you're hugging your grandma, whatever you want to visualize. Good. Let's go into shoulder circles. Small to start, and then start opening it up. Open it up all the way around, big circles. Shrug those shoulders as you go overhead. Quick back to jogging. We're still getting the blood moving. And then go the other way with the arm circles. Starting small, getting bigger. Lifting those shoulders up near your ears as you go overhead for 3, 2, 1. And hip hinges. Really trying to get the hips to start going back, keeping your back straight. And if you want and have a wall space for it, I like to do the butt tap. Step a little forward, butt tap. It gives you something to think about. I'm reaching backwards with my hips and not so far that my upper body's rounding, since it's not about the upper body going down, it's about the hips going back. Touch, back, forward. A little farther forward until you really feel like you can't get there. That's okay, we're just stretching, warming up here. Let's do 2 more, 1 more. We'll make it into a squat. So nice wider stance going down and up. We are going to be doing chops today. When we're doing our chops, you're going to be in a partial squat. Chop up, chop up, chop up, chop. So you're chopping down. When you start, you might want to do just hands together, but you have an option for a light weight as you chop. The lighter the weight, the faster I want you to go. The heavier the weight, the slower and more control I want you to go, because that's putting a lot of pressure through your core and through all of the musculature of the body. So find a way that works for you for those chops. Second exercise, we have reverse fly to bent over fly to bent over row. So you're going to be in that bent over position for 60 seconds, 30 seconds here, going out to the side in the fly. Get the shoulders back, arms locked in place. And then second 30 seconds, you're rowing, keeping your head down, keeping your back straight, holding in that bottom position. If you have 2 sets of weights like I do, feel free to switch weights between the fly and the row. If you want a heavier weight for the row, since it is a lot easier on the shoulders for that row position. Last exercise, biceps to triceps. And that'll finish up our first set. Go ahead and get some water, get your weights. Our second set has to have it here. We'll get started in just a second. Shake your arms, get everything moving a little bit. Just move this up so you can see my tricep extensions. My tricep extensions a little better. And get the timer going. Again, that's 60 seconds each, 30 seconds for the first part, 30 seconds for the second part, and no gap between that first and second part, 10 seconds between each exercise. So we're starting off one more time, chops, and then we're reversing the direction. So the first time you're chopping down, second time you're chopping up. Slowly coming down and then chop up. Think about that explosion, up or down, depending on that first or second exercise we're doing. Get the weights for the reverse fly, and then biceps and triceps. I'll try to switch things up a little bit as we go, but if you want hands together to start these chops, or you can have a lightweight if you really feel like you got this, you want to just get going with a little more weight. So here we're going. Get yourself in that partial squat. We're starting in 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds, starting now. Getting the timer have sound for that next beat. 20 seconds left. Chopping down, raising up, chopping to the side. If you want, you can add in a little bit of a half squat to help you go down into position. 10 more seconds before we switch directions. Get that chop. Move the arms as you chop. Switch directions. So it's cross up, come down, cross up, come down. And really focus on the speed getting up. If you're holding the weight, hold it really tightly. Up, up, up and cross. Good. Think of it as a figure 8. That explosion up. Really getting off that heel, up to the side. Down and up. All right, 10 seconds to shake it off. Grab your weights for reverse fly. I'm just going to be using one weight this first time. Hip hinge. Going back, arms stay locked in position, maybe slightly bent. Shoulders pulling back, engaging from the back. If you only have one set of weights and they're kind of heavy, feel free to do a little bit of the cheat, raise up to get the weights up and try to hold them at the top before slowly coming down. It's that controlled motion, descending, where you get a lot of the strength. And we're going right into rows. Elbows pulling back, weights stay right under the dumbbell. Weights stay right under your elbows. This is just the first set. So, gotta figure out where you're going. If this is too much weight, you can change it up on the second set if you have that second pair of dumbbells. Biceps and triceps. A few seconds to shake it out, or switch weights if you're ready. We're going dumbbells together up into the bicep curl. You can start with this grip, underhand grip to start on that second set or third set. If you want to switch to reverse grip, overhand, it's a lot more of a wrist exercise, but it is good if you have any reason at all to work out your wrists. 2 more seconds. Up in the shoulders. 1 press to get overhead. Tricep extension. I like to keep my dumbbells together at the bottom and then a little extension at the top. So if I squat down a little, you can see I'm going out at the top. That's a little more of a natural motion for the arm and the wrist. Keep the elbows high. Keep the abs engaged. You're holding a heavy weight over your head, so use your abs to control the weight. 10 seconds until the chops. And I'm gonna grab the weight. I'm gonna go a little slower. Chopping down and then raising up. Chop down and raising up. You have to really brace yourself at the bottom for these downward chops. It's a catch on that one leg. And you're going hips back. Not into a full squat, not really into a hip hinge either. Somewhere in between. Raise up. Switch directions. This time, up and hold. Slowly come down, up and hold. This time it's an explosion off the leg. So you're here, explode to the top. Bottom, explode to the top. Really trying to make it a powerful movement to get back up and cross over. Slow down, crossing up. Slow down, big exhale. Got time for one more, make it even. Reverse fly, second set. A few seconds to shake it out. Get yourself set up right into those reverse flies. Try to get a little farther back, a little farther over with your body while still keeping your back straight. Full 30 seconds. If you have the space, you can use the wall and really focus in on the upper shoulders. Really good exercise for posture. And switching to reverse row. Same position. If you're keeping with that weight, just go right into it. Or if you're switching to the heavy weight, try to make it a quick transition, go right back. I'm not craning my neck forward. I'm not looking at the wall. I'm looking at the ground somewhere. But keeping my chin tucked in, shoulders back. You want to be in a good upright posture, even though your body is not actually upright. Quick transition, biceps to triceps. This time, let's alternate. So, switching sides as we go. Still doing underhand grip, or if you want to switch to the reverse grip here, you can do that. On the last time, we'll go back to the in sync. Biceps and triceps. Nice, slow and controlled. Keeping in time, elbows staying in front. A little bit. To the shoulders, overhead press, alternating down and up. Again, keep that elbow high and keep it trying to line up. As you can see, I'm not going way out to the side for these triceps. I want to make it a tricep exercise, so I keep it in line and really working on that extension of the triceps. Holding it high is going to make the triceps its full length at that bottom position. Switch to the last chop. Your choice, weights, no weight, same direction, going down to start. Really trying to catch yourself and lift back up. Finding that bottom position, coming up slow, thinking about catching at the bottom, lifting up, catching at the bottom, raising a little bit of shoulders, maybe a little bit of legs too, but try to focus on the core to make this movement happen. Hold that core in. Hold that core in. Switching directions, so crossing up and down. Without my weight, I'm gonna go faster. I don't need to catch myself on the bottom. I'm not worried about losing my weight. Keep it arms straight as I'm going crossing up. Slow and explode. Slow and explode. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last set of reverse flies here. We're going right into it. Hip hinge, shoulders back. Dumbbells are parallel at the bottom. And I like to think about I'm pulling a resistance band apart or a big spring, which is pulling apart. It helps me get my back engaged and I'm pulling my shoulder blades together at the top. Deep breaths, get that last one in. Switching to rows, switching weights if you want, but getting right back into it. Can you get a little lower for me? Keep those hips high, back is straight, legs closer together so you have space for the dumbbells to go up and down. You might feel your glutes burning by now, that's okay. stand up bicep curls. If you want, you can do those reverse curls a little more in the forearm to get through these. For these, I do not mind the elbows going out a little bit, or you can try to hold them in and go out to the side here. It does get the biceps, but it's getting this forearm holding in place. Keep the wrists slightly bent. That's going to open up that carpal area where there are a lot of nerves, as I know some people know of. Want a little bit of opening there for any wrist exercise. Overhead triceps. Keep those elbows high, abs locked in. And it's that bottom position where the weights are right behind my head, where the tricep is at its full extension, at the shoulder and at the elbow. Get one more, all the way. Whew. Slowly put the weights down and put them somewhere where you can grab them with your mat. You're going to be doing 3 mat exercises next. Need to get some water. Water break. 3 exercises coming up. So set up your mat. I've got space here. You want the weights either at your side or right over your head, because, and I'm putting the other weights over here so you can see what I'm talking about. Our second exercise, we're not using weights. The second exercise are I's, Y's, and T's. Flat palms raising up for I. Your body is in the shape of an I. Out to the side for the Y, and out all the way to the side for a T. Getting the upper back really worked out. But we do want the weights nearby, so have them really close together. And when your eyes, for that first set, your hands are right next to the dumbbells. Our first exercise, though, before we get into that, pullovers, somewhere where you can grab the weights, put them over your head. That's the easiest way to pick up the weights when they're on the ground, is to actually do the first pullover. Then you're there. Arms can be straight, keep your shoulders back and tucked in underneath your body. Arms stay straight, back behind the head. You really have to control your abs to make sure you're not lifting your back as you go. It's hard to see, but you don't want to extend your spine. You want to keep those abs engaged as you go back and over your head. If I show you from the side angle, you have 2 choices, dumbbells together or dumbbells apart. Your choice there. If you are pushing them together, do push them together. Really engage the musculature that can push your arms together, so you get a little chest exercise there. Or work on stability for the shoulders. Keep those dumbbells apart the whole time. And then for distance, go back to my side. If your arms are straight, you're not going all the way to the ground. Maybe I can still see the dumbbells just enough and they're over my head. Because your shoulders, most people's shoulders do not have that flexibility to go all the way to the ground. So if you do want to go to the ground, keep your elbows bent and do the pullovers from there. Lightly tap. You don't want to bang your ground. Make sure you control the motion. But keep those elbows locked in place, either slightly bent or straight forward. So that's the first exercise. The second exercise I already talked about with the I's, Y's, T's on our stomachs. Third exercise, also facing the ground, it's push-ups. So you have a few choices here. On your knees, going through, on your toes, going through, and then the third option, you can do either of those with the dumbbells, since they're going to be right here anyway. I like to kind of, if you have a flat dumbbell edge, you can hold the dumbbells, pushing on them kind of like they're barbell. So you have something else to hold on to right next to your chest. And that puts your wrist in a different position, a round thing to hold instead of wrist extended. So it might be easier on your wrists if you have trouble with normal push-ups. On your knees, on your toes, or with the dumbbells. Again, 40 seconds, 3 times through. We're starting with pullovers. I need to put the dumbbells back in between each one. So get your dumbbell set up, get the mat set up. You have a second to grab water if you want it. Go ahead and lie back. I'll get the timer going and jump in with you. Starting in 3, 2, 1. 40 seconds of pullovers. I would suggest starting with a straight arm, getting the shoulders back and working on your form. Keeping the shoulders back, keeping the abs engaged. If you want to work a little more abs, I always say pullovers are a great one to raise the legs up, really holding your abs as the arms go back. If you just want to focus on the back muscle, the latissimus dorsi that is doing this work, don't raise your legs. Dumbbells down onto your stomach. You're not resting on your stomach. Keep those abs lifted, hands over your heads, and you're lifting up and down. Exhale as you lift up and go back to the ground. So my head's not on the ground. You can rest it in between each lift, but palms stay down. You'll feel that in that upper back. Keep your abs engaged. You're really bracing between the chest and your thighs to do this motion. You're not pressing down with your stomach. You're not pushing down with your head. Make the upper back do the work. Hands under your shoulders. For your first push-up, I'm going to do the dumbbell version.
Ready?
With the dumbbell version, I have a little angle here. You can also have straight on, straight in line. That also works really well. Just make sure it's lining up right next to your chest, just like it is a barbell bench press. Pressing up. 40 seconds through. 10 more seconds. Keep it up. I have an explanation for holding the dumbbell. For 10 seconds breaks, switch to your pullovers. And for a quick demo, when you're locking your dumbbell press in,
Ready?
try to lock in right along this cup where your pad and pad line up on your hand. Right here and here, they can form that cup and the weight goes there. That's gonna put it right through the wrist for those push-ups. You're still doing pullovers for 12 seconds. Put the weights down onto your stomach. Instead of going into the I, we're going into the Y, about 45 degrees out to the side with each arm, lifting up. Really thinking about pulling your shoulder blades together at the top. Everything is coming from those shoulder blades. You might start with the hands coming off the ground, but think about the shoulder blades, pulling them together. Big inhale, big exhale. Try to keep your arms as straight as you can. Arms come up, pulling them together. Get one more in. push-ups. So like I was saying, cup your hand, the weight goes right through there, and then you grip the dumbbell. That's gonna put the energy right through the wrist the way you want it to. So my wrists are lined up. I can feel it near my thumb and near that edge of the pinky, going down and up. And my wrist is straight in line with the force of the weight. Last set, going right back into pullovers. Last set of exercises, so really push yourself on this one. This would be the good one to challenge yourself with the legs raised. See if you can go out a little farther. Again, you don't want your back to raise up, but really engaging the abs, making them work, get the weights down and up. Inhale as you go down, big exhale as you come up. Almost there, last one. Weights down, and we're onto the T. Arms are straight out from your shoulders. This is the one where you really get the shoulders pulling together at the top. Keep your chin tucked in. We're not craning our necks. We want to keep a good upper body posture and train our bodies to move within that good posture. No compensations. Ten more seconds. Pulling the shoulders back. You got 2 more in you. Good job. Last push-up, last exercise of the day. This is the last one. So try to go endurance. Going the whole time. If you need to switch the toes or take a quick rest, jump back into it. But try to keep going the whole time. Keep your torso lined up with your thighs, even if you're on your knees. Deep breaths, get through it. 10 more seconds. You can do 1 more. You can do 2 more. Shake out the wrists. Quick shoulder circle. We'll go right into the stretches. While you stand up, you do the arm, shoulder stretch. This one's easier to do on the move, walking around, breathing deeply. Since we did do push-ups today, highly recommend the arm and the chest stretch. Arm on the wall, elbow over your shoulder. So I've got this almost 45-degree angle even when I face the wall and then turn out. I only need to have my elbow locked in somewhere. A wall kind of gives you the sense that you're facing the wall and then opening up, and that helps open up the shoulder. You can still do this stretch at a doorway, since some people don't have open space on their walls, I know for sure. Many of my personal training clients have pictures everywhere. So 1 arm in a door frame, and then stick your body through. Everyone's gonna have a door in their house somewhere. Get to the bathroom, get to the kitchen, arm comes through, and you want it so that it gets to your chest. You don't want it too low where it's getting into your shoulder. You want to raise it up and really get that chest. That's going to open up the whole body, whole upper body, whole chest, and keep your shoulders and everything lined up. Make sure to do that stretch, arm across stretch for your back. And I hope to see you all